Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Mel. I grew up playing outside.
And I grew up doing something meaningful, watching movies and TV.
I never had cable, and we finally bought a VCR about the same time DVD players hit the market.
Throughout our marriage, Mel has sadly missed many of my pop culture references and movie quotes.
So it's time to catch up on all the films I missed.
Good evening, Melissa.
Hello, Nick.
How are you?
I'm good.
Are you? Are you good?
I'm great.
I am also great. Do you know why I'm particularly great today?
I think I have an idea. Why are you great?
I'm particularly great because I just had a wonderful meal. I'm having a wonderful time. And there may or may not be someone joining us today who may or may not be on, our all-time highest downloaded and streamed episode of all time ever.
So you're saying this is a special guest
This
episode?
is a special guest episode.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Would you like to introduce our guest?
No, go ahead.
This man needs no introduction because I don't know how to introduce him. Matt, it is so great to have you back on again.
I'm very excited to be here.
I am excited to have you here. I always enjoy having someone else in the mix. And I'm particularly curious. First off, I have a couple questions for you.
All right, I'm ready.
Question one. Do you remember the movie we watched when we last had you on?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what was it?
Uncle Buck.
Uncle
Buck.
That's right. Do you remember how long ago that was?
That was 13 months ago.
Oh, nice. Good job.
It's fairly accurate. It was August of 2023.
I remember the movie
No.
too.
Huh? What? You?
All right.
You stand? I mean, I'm.
It was June.
It was June. You're
Yeah.
right. It aired in August.
I'm just saying.
These are great points. These are all great points.
It's a little late.
It's a little late. I mean, that's what movie nights are for, though. You yes, enjoy yourself and have a good evening.
I loved Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about whatever movie you picked this time, even though maybe it was a joke. We don't know for sure.
I mean, I have an inkling. I'm winking at Matt right now. Matt, are we watching?
They can't see this.
Oh, they can't see that, no. Which is why I say things like I'm winking, obviously.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, that's how it works. It's magic. Podcast magic. Are we going to be watching a movie that I'm aware of, or did you pull an audible and change it at the last minute on me?
No, I think we're going to go with something that you're aware of.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
you're a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
Goes way back.
It goes way back. Okay.
Way back.
Way back.
Like-
all right.
Black and white or?
No.
Okay.
No.
No.
80s? Maybe?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I do know that Nick will make up a whole bunch of fake things about
Oh, absolutely. That's,
And,
that's my wheelhouse.
it. Talk about things that don't actually exist.
That's
and-
true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's also true. Yeah. This movie makes you feel very special, like you are a chosen one.
Yeah.
Is that fairly accurate to say?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Is it The Boy Who Could Fly? When you said special, that was the first thing I pictured.
How long have you been wanting to watch The Boy Who Could Fly?
Ever since I last saw it, which was when I was like, I don't know, 10.
And what was unique about our last movie?
Yeah,
He was in it.
that's true.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
In
He
Uncle
was
Buck?
the son.
The son was
in-
the boy who could fly?
Oh, wait, he was? The Boy Who Could Fly
I'm
was
pretty
in Uncle
sure.
Buck?
I think we talked about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. It's weird. Maybe I'm just in that mood because I'm sitting here at the same
I bring
table.
that out in people.
This
Yeah,
is movie inception. This is where I really start to go nerd.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this movie, you're the chosen one?
No, I mean, it makes, you feel like the chosen one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is this a scary movie?
you obviously don't know what we're watching.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Is it scary? I mean, I guess it depends on you as a person. It's not designed to be a scary movie, I don't think. Not to my recollection.
No, I don't think it's assigned to be a scary movie. And I think you are a particular, maybe newer fan
Yes.
to this movie.
Is this
I
an
think.
Eddie Murphy movie? Because I don't make it a secret that I'm a new fan of Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It is. It is.
Yay.
You have a couple clues. Do you want to take any more guesses before we let you know what it is?
I don't know anything else that he did except Dr. Dolittle, which
What
we
kind of
mentioned.
fan
I know.
do you think you are? Shame on
I know.
you.
I'm no kind of fan.
It is.
I'm like late to the bandwagon fan.
Yeah. Well, yes. Literally, yes. This movie. This is really hard for me to say things like this, but I'm fairly certain this is my favorite Eddie Murphy movie. This is definitely my favorite Eddie Murphy movie from when I was a kid.
It's definitely one that we had on VHS.
Oh, yes.
Taped off of TV, most
Yes,
likely.
yes.
That we watched a bunch of times.
Yes, yes.
Along with Beverly Hills Cop.
Mhm.
And, you know.
Mm-hmm. And this is also a movie where, you know, when you were a kid in the 80s watching Beverly Hills Cop, you probably shouldn't have been watching that movie, but it was the 80s.
Yeah.
This one in particular, though, was pretty much designed for, like, it had the whole package. Like, this was
for kids, or
it was a movie that kids could enjoy, and you wouldn't feel like your parents would actually probably let you watch it instead of like sneaking out or something.
Your parents let you watch anything.
Well, they just weren't around,
Indeed.
so that helps. Yeah.
So I mentioned Dr. Dolittle. Is it that?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Then I have no other guesses.
No other guesses. Okay.
No.
Do you
Did
want
he
to?
do the Nutty Professor?
He did the Nutty Professor. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
But it's not this.
I think you've seen that movie, haven't you?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when he went through his phase of going extreme with character acting, being different characters. Like he's like 7 people in that one.
Okay. No. What is it? Tell me.
It's
I'm ready.
hardcore early Eddie Murphy.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, hardcore is a very loaded word when it comes to Eddie Murphy, given his like comedic career, his
That's
stand-up stuff. So anyway, do you want to? I'm going to give you the honors. Let her know.
This movie is called The Golden Child.
I have never heard of this. The Golden Child.
Yeah.
Is he the Golden Child? Is it about another child that's the Golden Child?
What do you think?
I don't know.
First of all, what year do you think this was made?
That's fair.
From your description, I'm going to guess 85.
85.
I
Okay.
guess.
Okay. That's a good guess.
Yeah.
Any other? You have no idea about the plot line.
No.
Other actors? Nothing.
Do you know who's the Golden Child?
Who's the
Luisa in Encanto. The Golden Child.
Luisa is in this. It's a mind-bending time travel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she traveled back in time.
It's not
Transported.
Luisa, it's the other sister. I just got to get that out
Oh,
there.
you're
I said
right.
the wrong
Yeah,
sister.
what's her
You're gonna
name?
get so many emails.
I know.
The
yeah.
Encanto. Yeah. Wow.
I've got nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. What are you looking forward to about this movie?
I want to see young Eddie Murphy. Yes, awesome.
All right.
Interesting.
That is. She's a fan. She is a fan of Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy. And
yeah.
when he was at his peak. Although I haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop 3 for whatever it is. Axel
The
Foley.
newest
one.
one.
The newest one.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. So
I did.
he actually no. I'm going to digress. I've seen some of his later stuff, and he's still got it, man.
Yeah.
He's still got it. What are you potentially dreading about seeing this one?
I don't know. Confusing or not together plot, I guess, is
Mhm.
a possibility. But
That happens.
the movies that I've seen of him from that time period were really solid and good. So I'm not concerned. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm like standing and ready to go on a Disney ride.
Uh-huh.
And I know it's going to be great. And I'm
Yeah.
just ready for the ride.
It's probably going to have a killer soundtrack, which I don't remember.
I don't remember the
Oh,
soundtrack
yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Like, let's do a brief moment. Do you remember anything about? You know, don't give her spoilers, but how much of this movie do you remember?
I just have. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Like we watch it a lot
Right.
over and over again. One of
Right.
those
Yeah.
repeat watch
Yeah.
movies.
Mm.
But I probably haven't watched it since the late 1900s.
It's back in the days before when the internet used to make noises at us as we hooked up. I have in my mind I'm transmorphing the bad guys in the plot line. Like I'm pretty sure that I'm picturing some scenes from Coming to America when thinking of this movie. So we'll see. But I think I know the bad guy. I think. But again, I could be thinking about The Last Action Hero, which is not an Eddie Murphy movie.
No.
But the actors kind of sprinkle through the movies.
I feel like I can see the bad guy
Yeah.
too, and it's
Right.
like
Yeah.
that time frame.
Exactly.
Bad guy in every single movie.
Yes. And I do remember who the Golden Child is, but I'm excited for you to find out. And
I'm excited.
I'm really excited for you to see this because it's not what you expect in any Murphy movie. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think that's about all I got so far. Any other questions, Matt? You good?
No.
Okay. All right.
Not what I expect. Is it like, does it take place in Egypt or something?
I've said too
Is it
much.
historical?
I have said too much.
Huh. Okay.
What do you think the movie poster might look like?
That's a
Oh.
great question. Matt.
Thank you. I thought of it.
Our
It's-
favorite
it's-
part.
It's yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Egypt theme, and there's going to be a pyramid
All right.
in the background,
Okay.
and then in the foreground is, I don't know, like a little basket with like light coming out of it.
Ooh, okay.
I think you just described The Mummy, but okay, that's fine. It's fine. It's a different movie, but it's still good.
Or one of the Noah's Ark remakes. Or Noah. Yeah.
And the tagline is something like,
Moses. Yeah.
the golden child needs, what's the word for someone who looks after you?
A protector?
A protector.
The great protector.
Yes.
Yeah. I really want the poster to just have phonetically like on it. I'm sure it didn't, but that would tickle
I'm
me.
looking forward to that too.
That's
All
more
right.
irritating in person.
It's really
I want the listening audience to know.
I really put my art
Being a number one
and
fan
heart,
and
yes,
having listened
yes,
to that over and over
yes,
again,
yes.
much worse in person.
Oh,
Much worse in person.
warms the cockles of my heart. Thank you. Are you ready to?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Let's go check it out.
Let's do it.
Eddie Murphy is back. But this time, he's looking for a missing child, a golden child.
This child is special, Mr. Giraud. His destiny is to save the world.
And it's your destiny to seek some serious psychiatric help.
Okay, may I ask you boys a couple of questions?
By the time he finds you, it will be too late. Hey! In my pocket, it's a whole thing of Tic Tacs. Take as many as you like, please.
I could destroy you just like that.
Just like that. Mwah, you're wonderful. Nobody be alarmed. I'm Ma'am Chandler Jarrow, American Stolen Artifacts Finders of America.
He's irresponsible.
A bed? Is that a bed?
He is a careless, thoughtless, undisciplined fool.
I should be punished. I should be purged. I should be flogged.
You are the chosen one. You will find a child.
Well, I do my best. I'm so afraid of the dark, too.
I really don't like your attitude.
You know, this is a nice jacket. It's a Morris Day feel, and it looks good on you. And the boots, smoking.
He's got a firm grip on reality. Where he's going, he'll need it.
How'd you do that? What was that with the flip?
You must carry this glass of water without spilling a drop.
Who are you, Monty Hall now?
This is a piece of cake.
Eddie Murphy is the chosen one.
Well, how many people have survived this test?
None.
None.
The golden child.
None.
I want to hear what you thought. Tell me what you thought.
So that was the golden child.
That was the golden child.
I guessed Egypt, and it was like Tibet. I felt really close on that.
You do know geography, right?
I mean,
Egypt is closer
thank you.
It is close.
than we are.
I mean, I just felt close in the way that it was like,
An
Exotic.
ancient culture type
Yes,
thing.
yes.
Yeah. So
I'm still giving myself that point.
I'm not going to give you a pop quiz on geography right now. Don't worry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I do want to know though, what kind of cutlery do you think could save the world? Wait, yeah, do that, and then we'll do the summary. Go ahead.
Okay, black saber,
A black saber,
right? Is it the dark saber?
the dark saber.
Dark saber.
You're mixing genres now.
This is embarrassing.
This is so
This
embarrassing.
is embarrassing.
Are we in Star Wars now?
Well, they're actually like Matt actually happens to have a knife.
Uh-huh.
That would probably be like the knife.
Actually,
it's in this like wooden
yeah,
box,
It's true.
and you open it, and it's
Yes.
gorgeous, and it has like
Yes.
this cool forged
Yeah.
something.
Ever since we watched the movie, I have just been saying, "Show me the knife. I want the knife." Yes.
Yes.
That's probably my favorite line in the movie. Okay, so the dark saber would save the world, or Matt's. What kind of knife is that, Matt?
It's a Mitsumoto.
Mitsumoto.
Sakari.
Is that from Egypt? Just kidding.
Right in the neighborhood.
She knows it's from
Right in
China.
the neighborhood.
Okay. Do you want to give us a quick summary of this film?
Sure. It's your standard prophecy film. You know, there's a child who's been kidnapped,
Mm-hmm.
and The monks know the prophecy, so they have to convince Eddie Murphy that he's part of the prophecy, and he's a detective who finds children. He specializes in finding children. And he is the one who's supposed to save the golden child, who will then save the world.
Did we watch the same movie?
Same.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You
That was
panic.
wonderful.
That was, I dare say, the shortest and most accurate summary you've ever given of a film. Did you read? You weren't reading that either. You
No.
didn't have your phone. Wow.
It was like she was reading it.
Wow.
It's like she cheated, but she didn't.
It's like you were the chosen one for that
It's-
summary.
You still don't trust me, though. I can tell in the way you're
Well,
talking.
I mean, of course, there are a couple parts in there where I was like, well, come on now. But anyway, that was fairly accurate. My hat's off to you.
Thank you.
My awesome Eddie Murphy style beret. What was going on with his hat in this movie?
I don't think that's a beret. There's another name for that kind of hat.
I-
And it was black leather.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how you wouldn't faint wearing that hat. Is it just me? Like having a leather cap like that, it would definitely overheat me, and I'd be kaput.
I don't know.
No,
Maybe like if you're in a prophecy, you have like a special.
you can withstand it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you guys
Yeah.
what you thought, because you had seen it when you were kids, right?
You still haven't answered what you thought about it, but I'm going to answer and you think about what you thought. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
I was shocked watching this movie. I remember as a kid, I remember a few things being a little dark, but I do not remember the amount of darkness that was in this movie, like when I was watching it as a kid. What about you, Matt?
I feel like I remember being like certain parts were scary.
Yeah.
In
Mhm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
which, yeah, they were dark. Yeah.
The,
they were-
what are the top two things you remember that were scary as a kid? I have mine.
I remember. Well, there's the end, but
Mhm.
the monster
The
at the
monster,
end.
yep.
All of that. And I feel like I remember the trial that he goes through being a
Mhm.
lot more of the movie, and it was
Right.
like 15 seconds of it is what it felt like at the end.
Yeah, when he's balancing on the
Yeah.
stuff, right? Yeah.
It felt like an Indiana Jones kind
Uh-huh.
of thing, but it was actually a really small part of the movie.
I remember the intensity of that too. That's definitely in my mind.
It did feel very Indiana Jones.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
the thing that he's going through. What's the whole thing? He has to like go with. He has to carry a cup of water through
Yes.
this dark cave that no one else goes into.
Yes.
And then at the end of it, there was like fire.
There was a fire, and
And
that's
he
where
had
the
to
knife was.
That's where the knife is.
The knife
Okay,
was,
so
yeah.
that's
He
how
had
he
to
gets
know when to break the rule, which was drink the water.
right.
At the end.
Was
Okay.
he breaking the rule though?
Was he?
Oh.
So that was scary when you guys were kids.
It
and
was
intense.
I remember the intensity of it. Yeah, like when you're little and seeing something like if you fell off the logs, you would just fall into a void to your death. And then there's even the joke of like how many people have survived. None. So
It was intense for me as an adult watching it, because I was like, he's not taking this seriously.
Yeah.
What is he doing? And he
Yeah.
almost, the water, that was intense. Like when he I don't know, he has the water, he has to set it on top of
He
one of
falls.
those posts.
one of the logs.
Yes,
yeah.
he falls.
Mhm.
So that it was intense. Yeah.
I'm fairly certain I had the same thought as like I don't know a 10-year-old as I did as my age now, where he fell at one point and he put his cup on top of the water and then the water shakes all around, but he doesn't spill any. The thought I had was, well, it doesn't count because he's got some drops on his hand, so now he's not going to be able to complete
See,
everything.
You were a lot of fun as a kid too.
I really was.
You really were.
I was the bee's knees.
What else scared you when you were a kid?
Uh,
You said there were two things.
The oatmeal blood, the blood in the oatmeal
Blood in
was
the
like
oatmeal. Oh, that's right.
was creepy to me. Like the idea that it was like hidden and that there's that very clear shot where he puts a spoon into the pot and you see like just underneath him his blood comes up. I remember that creeping me out when I was a kid.
It's creepy.
That is.
That was the creepy part. And I watching it now, I was like, this is a kid's movie? Like kids watched this?
Well, that's how I framed it when I told you about it because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. And I remember it being like an adventure movie and I was a kid. So I was like, this is like a kid's adventure movie. It is not a kid's adventure movie at all.
It is Eddie Murphy,
I know.
who is ironically more of a kids movie actor now, but
He definitely grew into that.
the
This-
80s.
Yeah.
This was his first movie to get a PG-13 rating
Yes.
because it was absent of, or there were no F words or
And-
whatever.
Yeah.
And then his next PG-13 movie would be The Nutty Professor a decade later.
Wow.
Isn't
That is a
interesting?
much different journey than this movie was.
The kid wasn't a huge part of the movie. Like
The Golden Child?
The Golden Child.
Yeah.
Like he's the title of the film, but he was really like you would see him and I admired his like steadfastness, and he didn't eat the oatmeal. He knew not to eat the oatmeal, and he had these leaves in his pocket that he would sustain himself with. But
which you keep thinking about.
I do.
Walking around, looking at all the trees.
You know, we're going on hikes and I'm seeing these leaves and I just keep picturing, I don't know, the way he like ingested it and put it in his mouth. It was like, I don't know. It's imprinted on my mind now. I don't know why.
Do you want to know probably one of the most, not mind-blowing, but like a really interesting fact about this movie?
Tell me.
Specifically about the child.
Yeah.
It's played by a girl.
Oh, nice.
The Golden Child is a girl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It made me want to see more of The Golden Child and like a sequel when the Golden Child saves the world.
Yeah. I wanted to see, like, as the movie ends and you see, spoilers, Eddie Murphy wins. He doesn't die.
He saves the child.
He saves the child. The prophecy has been fulfilled. But at the very end, you see the Golden Child and he's walking in there in LA and he's got like, he gets the Golden Child, like LA Dodgers, right? LA Dodgers? Yeah. I don't remember. The blue LA baseballs. I don't sports that much, but yeah, I think it's the Dodgers. Anyway, the baseball cap. And I really wanted like that to keep going too. I wanted it to be a TV show or something, anything where you could keep that like going. Because even though the Golden Child isn't in that many parts of the movie, all the stuff that happens to the Golden Child and that it does are really cool. Like it reanimates birds from the dead.
Yeah.
It does, what is that, corporal projection or astral projection. Like there's a scene where there's astral projection happening. Can control anyone. Any other powers are missing here? Like with a touch, it can control anyone.
Yeah, the child would touch things and the person would turn from bad guy to good guy.
Yeah.
The can.
The
iconic can.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be telekinesis, right? I don't know. Like it takes the can and turns it into like a little tap dance show.
Yeah, it actually like the child is sitting in this cage. And then there's a Coke can, or maybe it's Pepsi. I don't know.
It was Pepsi.
Okay. Oh, whoops.
Cola Wars. You got to be careful.
Yeesh. Yeah, it turns it into this little cute animated thing, and it does this dance, and then the goofy Dumbo bad guys are like, "Oh, this is great," and get like in trouble from the big bad boss. But that was cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool. I think we said that part held up. Like it looks, it still looked good.
It was good. Yeah,
it was. Some of the do you know who did the special effects?
No.
Yes.
Who, Matt?
Industrial Light and Magic.
Do you remember who founded that company?
What's his name?
Yes.
Star Wars Man.
Star Wars Man. Yes. George Lucas.
Yes.
Jorge Lucas. Yes, George Lucas. Industrial Light and Magic, like they were filming another movie, prepping for a movie at the time this came out. Yes. Roger Rabbit.
What?
So like they were using some of the techniques from that movie. Have you seen that one, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I saw it.
Okay. And that's how they were incorporating that into the Pepsi can dance there. It's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Now, one thing we mentioned too, now that we're talking about effects, like what are some effects that didn't hold up? Raise your hand if you have an idea.
We're all raising
our hands.
I'm raising it.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The
Bad
demon
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the worst.
He did not age well.
No.
No, well, it's a stop motion thing.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, never really mixes well. It's good on its own, but it doesn't really mix well. And it has a corniness. Although the can, but it was just the can.
Yeah, the can was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it gets really hard when you have like creature feature stop motion to make it look really good and age well. Like it's pretty hard.
Yeah, because the can was never meant to be a living, breathing thing, but the demon is supposed to be believable as like this evil force flying around. And that's where it loses you for sure. Yeah.
But as you can attest, both Matt and I just said we remember that dude being super scary when we were kids, right? At the time, that actually looked good and like was actually scary and intense. It's just nowadays it doesn't hold up quite as well.
It's like how when I was a kid at the time, when I saw Large Marge like pop her eyes.
Yes.
That scared me for years.
Me too. Yeah.
But our kids didn't blink an eye
Nothing.
because it's just, we have different standards now.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
That's true. It's interesting.
What did you? What else stood out about the movie for you? Either of you.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
No, I wasn't listening to the question, so I was going to wait and see what you said to see if I could figure out what he said.
I'll help you out.
That's a fun game.
So something that stood out to me.
No, still bad. Still bad.
Okay, what stood out?
Okay, so the female monk, what was her name? Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte Lewis.
Charlotte Lewis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The whole relationship thing with her and Eddie Murphy, like all of a sudden she's in love with him at the end.
Right.
And it just seemed really formulaic.
She was in love with him halfway through the movie. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, it was just like a switch.
She was in heavy like, maybe. Maybe
okay.
heavy like.
Well, you were telling me how like older movies, like you have fewer steps between meeting and love.
Yes.
And it's so obvious sometimes where you're like, I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense. But anyway.
Now, have I told you my theory about romance and cinematic history? Have I told you that before?
Yes.
Tell me what it is then.
No, it was a good one. No, I think they had a formula to follow to keep a movie at 90 minutes or as close to for theatrical release and make the most money. So they cut a lot of the story out of it.
Relationship building.
And followed that structure, that 3-act play within a 3-act movie.
Mm-hmm. That's actually not my theory, but
it's better than yours.
It's better than my theory.
Probably shorter.
It's probably shorter than what I would have said.
There are people listening.
That's fair. Fair.
So originally the movie was going to be like super dramatic. They like wanted Mel Gibson to play the lead.
John Carpenter to direct, yeah.
Right. And then they didn't do that. They had Charles Dance. He's the guy from Game of Thrones.
Bad
guy. He's the bad guy. So later on, like Charles Dance went on to kind of like say that after a screening, Paramount like panicked and just gutted the movie and like turned it into like changed the score to make it more funky and they gave Eddie Murphy more Eddie Murphy like lines and they just like totally kind of stripped out that like deeper story that I was kind of hoping for.
It was really riding that Beverly Hills Cop thing, so that's what the audience wants is Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop, not serious Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
But when part of the cool part of what they did, I love the way the movie came out. Like I think it would have been something completely, I don't know if I would have liked it as much if it was just serious the whole time. Like,
well, as a kid, no, you wouldn't have.
Even as an adult, but I have the nostalgia factor going on. So, but I like the fact that with the composers, they had like a classical like score, and that was the more dramatic, serious one. And the one they brought in to do replacements, he was a French composer, and he did like more of the synth stuff and kind of like made it a bit lighter and kind of edgier. And they actually ended up blending the scores. So like for like the dramatic parts, they kept the old one because it was more serious. And then for the kind of funner parts and the action parts, they had like the cool like synth that I think of when I think of this movie.
Yeah.
Which turns out like best of both worlds situation. So yeah.
I think we were hoping for good music. I liked the music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like the main character song, like the title song. It sticks out in my mind. I can still it just echoes in my brain.
80s movies are good at music and soundtracks and all of that.
Yeah, everybody was still excited that, synthesizers were around and they were going pretty heavy in them.
And it seemed happier, like a little, I guess maybe it's just the synthesizer or whatever, but it's just kind of a more joyful music to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Part of with the relationship too with Eddie Murphy and Charlotte Lewis, like when I heard she was 18, like as an actress in the film, you're like, oh, because a lot of times when you're watching a movie, you'll have like the lead be like 40, the male lead will be 40, and then there'll be like a 20-year-old female. But Eddie Murphy was like 24 when this movie was made, maybe 25. So he actually wasn't a significant amount older than her, which was actually kind of redeemed it a bit in my head.
I really liked how she was like super good at ninja skills or Tibetan monk fighting skills, whatever they're called.
Yes.
And at first he didn't even know, like he didn't realize it. He kept saying, wait in the car. And then she follows him in. She beats up some bad guys while he's like tied to a wall, so he doesn't even see.
Yeah.
And when he finally does, he's like kind of trips out about it, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
she was great.
I liked her a lot in this movie. She didn't really go on to do much after this, but I really enjoyed her performance in this. Charles Dance was good too. Like, he was a great, like, I would like to see this character like fight Hans Gruber, maybe. Like, they were both like the serious dramatic actors, like British actors. So it's always good to have a British actor in a film to be the bad guy.
And before the whole bad demon kind of took him down a notch as a bad guy, before that, he was a really good bad guy.
Yes.
And I liked how he could disappear and reappear, on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
He was really good as a bad guy.
We talked about the bad special effects. What was your favorite special effect, like good one? Besides the Pepsi can, no cheating.
That's all I had.
That's all you had? Okay, you can pick
that. Was my favorite one.
What about you, Melissa?
The blood coming out of the oatmeal? No, I'm just kidding. It was just more memorable.
It was
What
very
about
memorable. I really liked the scene where Charles Dance, Sardo Numspa, my dear sweet brother Numsi, when he was, I just love that line. Eddie Murphy, when he's in the airport, he is like playing with him.
Right.
I love that part. But I really liked the part where he was sitting like communing with whatever, if it's the devil or something in the underworld. When he's sitting there and you see all these bricks fade away, like the shot of the bricks disappearing into the distance looked really good. And then it's like cool. In like the fire pit stuff, like that was solidly awesome.
We're also forgetting to mention the weird woman behind a curtain who was smoking.
Yeah, the dragon lady, yeah.
Yeah.
Snake lady.
Snake lady.
Right? Well, her daddy was a dragon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Her dad was,
yes.
Her mother was raped by a dragon.
Correct.
Yes. That's what it was.
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, that was a cool effect too.
Yeah.
And you knew she was going to be something not totally human, but seeing her at the end was cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool reveal.
It was very strange too. It wasn't what you expected, the way that they blended the human and the dragon. That definitely stuck out in my mind too.
I'm thinking back from as a child.
Yeah.
Her shadow and all of that.
And
the sound. Yeah.
I thought she was, you know what I think when you said the snake woman, in my brain, Clash of the Titans and this are like in the same quadrant of my brain. Because Clash of the Titans has Medusa, thank you. And she has the snakes on her head and the hissing tail and the rattling tail. Very similar.
Yeah. I can see that connection for sure.
Totally. So, Matt, what was your favorite part of the movie? I could tell you mine.
I'm thinking... I'm trying to remember the guy's name. That's what it was. I like the old man.
The one who
Big Trouble in Little. It's like the whole cast from Big Trouble in Little China is in this movie.
Yeah.
And that I really like the old man. He always made me laugh.
The one who was like kind of gross, like that turns out to be
who gives him the medallion
her dad,
and all of that. Yes, her dad.
Yes. I like the scene where they first introduce him. He's like panhandling, and then he like just steals his money and stuff. Yeah,
I just like that character. I wouldn't say as a kid that probably wasn't my favorite part. It's all the fantasy stuff and all of that. But as an adult, I enjoyed seeing him again.
I'm glad you brought him up because he was cool, and that scene where he's like panhandling and selling stuff, and Eddie Murphy like buys something and then he takes 100 and he won't give it back, and it is really funny. He's really funny. With just a look, that guy like can make you laugh.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Murphy got a medallion from him, but it wasn't the one he wanted.
Yeah.
And for the whole movie, I was like, I want there to be a payoff. And I think I said it out loud, and you guys were like, you kind of kept mum, and you're like, she'll see. And then there was a payoff, and it saved him, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He held it up, and he could see the shoreline, and he lined up the two little islands. And that showed them the entrance to the cave.
No, that's Goonies.
One-Eyed Willie was.
That's
what?
It's absolutely Goonies.
Is it? Oh,
definitely Goonies.
My bad. I get those two mixed up all the time.
But yes, you're right. It did save him.
I know. That was awesome. I was like, yes! I wanted the payoff, and I got it. Woo!
Can you think of another knife that looked like the knife in this movie? This is the only one I can think of. I've seen a lot of like fantasy movies and stuff. The blade is like four-sided. It's like a cross almost. If you looked at it straight up, it would be like an even cross, an X, I guess. but like it's such a strange dagger. Like I remember very clearly this one. Like I never remember seeing another knife like it in a movie. It's very strange.
It might have been the part where I fell asleep. I don't remember looking at the knife
You
very.
don't remember the knife?
No, I'm gonna Google an image.
So wait a minute. All these times I've been saying I want the knife. You just
Oh no.
nothing's in your mind.
It was just during the bad guy flying around
yeah.
the evil Batwing part. That's all.
This movie actually should have won an award for the best action sequence in a station wagon. Because Eddie Murphy drives a station wagon pretty fast, and then he gets into like I don't know an Oldsmobile, and then that's when the demons chase him.
I don't know. Harry and the Hendersons has a pretty good station wagon.
You're
Go.
right. That's fair. Let me just say it's unexpected. I did not expect to see Eddie Murphy driving a station wagon in this movie.
Right.
Okay. Like I think that's what really works for me. If there was a prophecy about you, Matt, what would it be? That you were destined to do something. What would your prophecy be?
He walked with the dogs.
Any dogs in particular? Just okay. How about you, Melissa?
Aren't you not supposed to know your prophecy?
Well, no, it depends. The Golden Child knew about it, like himself. He knew he was destined to be the Golden Child.
Okay.
Eddie Murphy didn't know he was going to be part of it. So,
I think I am destined to be a really good teacher.
oh, okay.
Yep.
Are you going to teach someone in particular, and that's going to change the world, or
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll come up with something cooler.
That's
Just
fine.
go ahead, you answer
We'll
first.
fix that in post. My destiny would be to put people to sleep with nonsensical talk.
Amen.
I just thought of my destiny.
What's your destiny?
That didn't put me to sleep.
Okay.
Okay,
good.
my destiny is actually to play songs on the piano that kind of like unlock things in people, like helps them realize something about themselves
okay.
or like resolve an issue in their brain or whatever. So I'm like a piano,
The golden pianist.
something like that.
Although my nonsensical talk unlocked that in your brain, so maybe my nonsensical talk.
I mean, I had it before you went, so I was just being polite.
Okay.
I have a question about the movie.
Yeah.
When did Eddie Murphy become convinced of his role in the prophecy?
Oh, like
Is
in
it-
the timeline of the movie?
Yeah, like how did they
I
show that? Did he ever become convinced?
I don't think he was ever. I think in his character, I would say like when he actually got to the Golden Child is when he was convinced that he was going to save him. And I don't know if he was ever convinced, honestly, like character wise. I feel like he just was like, I got to do this. Not like I'm meant to do this.
Wasn't that what she was basically trying to do the whole time, was convince
Yeah.
him to come along?
She was trying to get him to believe it, but it was irrelevant if he believed it or not. He just
Right.
needed to do it.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
yeah.
There was a teenager he was looking for at the beginning that was murdered.
Yes.
And I think it was the same people or something.
Yes. Yeah.
It was connected to
It-
what
yeah.
he was already working
Yeah.
on.
They
Yeah.
kidnapped her so they could get the blood to put in the opium.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think when I was thinking about the movie before we started recording, I just thought he never seemed convinced of himself being part of the prophecy, even though he went along with everything and did it.
Yeah. I mean, he tried not to in the beginning. Like, he really didn't want to be involved. He kind of like rejected her the first few times, and then eventually she just kind of followed him around, and then something crazy happened. And then, yeah, he flew to Tibet.
Was there a reason why the monks couldn't just rescue the child themselves?
Because it wouldn't be as funny.
It wouldn't be a story.
It's a very good point. He really reached out across the world
Right?
Yes.
and found a random man
Yes.
who,
From the City of Angels.
from the City of Angels.
Yes.
And they brought him a long way. I mean, they wasted a lot of time.
You know,
The kid only had 5 leaves.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it was not a lot of time.
my only defense for that is it's the forces of evil know how to counter that. They don't know how to counter the buffoon. That's all I got.
Did
Like,
the monks not do violence, maybe?
no, I mean, she was doing a lot of violent
That's true.
things.
She was.
snapping necks.
I feel like she would have been better off on her own.
You would have thought.
Yeah.
But, that's a good question.
Just food for thought.
Yeah, no. Were there any, Matt, did you have any questions? You good? Just
I'm
want to
good.
make sure I'm not neglecting you.
You're not.
Okay. All right. Why did you pick this one, Matt?
Just thinking back to movies that we watched a lot, you know, so that we had on VHS, probably taped from TV.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one that we watched a lot, probably because of the fantasy angle and things like that. And it wasn't just a normal movie. Eddie Murphy was very popular.
Yeah.
He was probably outside of our,
probably should have been
allowed to watch a lot of his things as they were rated R.
Very
And we
risky.
probably saw this, 90 to 92-ish.
Yeah.
So, it just stuck with me.
Those are great reasons.
Mhm.
I'm glad you picked it.
Yeah, I don't know if you actually said if you liked it or not. We got into us talking about it.
I mean, I enjoyed it as a movie.
Well, it's not some big, spectacle,
I feel like
literary piece.
No, it's not.
It's a movie. It's just a movie.
Right,
Were you
right.
about-
Thank
You
you.
can enjoy it and watch it, and that's it.
Were you about to break up with the movie? It sounded like you were about to break up with the movie.
I mean, it's not you, it's me.
Okay.
No, I enjoyed it. Would I watch it again? No, I don't have the nostalgic connection that you guys have, which is cool. And I don't want to crush that at all because I
No.
love.
Yeah.
I'll
that.
probably never watch it again. That was the first time in a long time.
I
Nice.
will probably get the ringtone of Eddie Murphy, the noise he makes when he goes into that cavern. He goes, I'll probably get that as a ringtone, but I don't necessarily need to watch it again. Yeah.
I'm glad we watched it. This was fun.
What, if any, messages do you think were in this film?
I don't. Do we have time for that?
We definitely have time for that. Yeah.
Messages.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with the "Don't judge a book by its cover" because the Tibetan monk woman.
Everybody in the movie was like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It was all over the movie. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is even better than what I thought.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Okay. What about you?
Ditto.
Yes. We are together on this.
Oh, okay. I think, wow, the message of this film is, that is a really good one. It's hard to beat that.
Yeah. Kind of summed it up well.
You did sum it up well. What is going on with you? You give a succinct, coherent summary. You dethrone my ability to say what the message is. And that's unexpected, which takes it even, don't judge a book by its cover. I agree.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, you're just going to take our answer.
I think I am. That and Eddie Murphy makes everything funnier.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Eddie Murphy's amazing.
That's the message for the film for me. Well, my one regret in this conversation is we didn't talk about the henchmen, which I don't know what was going on with them, but
There was something happening there.
there was.
They were horrifying. Like,
They
you
were.
poor children
Yeah.
watching this movie.
There was the monkey man. There was the
Flea
slow
lookalike.
man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to cover that next time when we watch this in 15 years.
All right. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Tell us what you think of this film in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.